First meeting here. Wow. First meeting, I was so nervous.
Randy. You know, Taylor's out. Hurt? Yeah.
Oh,
So he hit his back. Huh? He's out. Yeah. Yep. Maybe he's watching on TV.
okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to open the Smithfield Town Council meeting Tuesday, November 7th, 2023. Item 1, there were executive session votes taken tonight. Real estate to consider, discuss, and act upon a potential land purchase of 24,819 square feet at Assessors Plot 46, Lot 166, in the amount of $10,850. The vote was 5-0 in favor of the purchase. John?
Mr. President, I'd like to do a moment of silence, if you may, before we start, for Captain Joe Matera. Joe was a graduate of Smithfield High School, a true Sentinel. Joe was a captain of the police department in Gloucester. Unfortunately, Joe passed away on Sunday at the age of 61. He was a coach, the Vikings. He also refereed, and him and his dad both were coaches of the Smithfield Raiders. He's got a son, Dan, and a daughter, Corinne, and his partner is Karen Carberry Beatty, and he has 2 grandchildren. Here's a perfect example of a young man at 61 years old has died too young. He was a great kid, great guy, great community guy. He was a great police officer. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. I'd like to offer a prayer. We come to you asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. Amen. Salute to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to do the emergency evacuation and health notifications tonight. The restrooms are in the back. Exits are here. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, don't use elevators in case of an emergency.
Can you repeat that?
Bathrooms are here. All right, presentations, Smithfield Animal Control.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the Smithfield Town Council and the town of Smithfield, Rhode Island, extends its heartfelt congratulations to the Smithfield Animal Control duo on being recognized for the Best Friends Animal Society of Achievement at 90% for the Save Rate calendar in 2022, and for ongoing dedication and compassion that the staff provides to animals in their care on November 7th, 2023. Mr. Salisbury?
Congratulations, sir. Yeah. Excellent. All right, moving on to minutes. Move that the minutes of the October 17th, 2023 executive session meeting held pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws, Section 42-46-5A1, personnel to interview Norberto Alvarado II for possible appointment to a town board or commission, in Rhode Island General Laws, Section 42-46-5A2, potential litigation be approved as recorded and sealed. As amended.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
Item B, move that the minutes of the October 17th, 2023 open session meeting be approved as recorded.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item 7, consider, discuss, and act upon the following possible appointments and reappointments. Item A, yes, I'm sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
Land trust appointments with a term expiring in September of 2024.
Mr. President, I move that the town council appoint Norberto Alvarado II as first alternate to the land trust with a term expiring in September of 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item B, Board of Canvassers appointment with a term expiring in March of 2025.
Mr. President, I will be recusing from this item. I'll forget to come back.
Until we forget you.
Do we have a motion?
I move that the town council appoint Charles Jackoni to the Board of Canvassers with a term expiring in March of 2025.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to item C, zoning board appointment with a term expiring, I'm sorry, Sean. Forgot about him. All right, zoning board appointment with a term expiring in May of 2024.
Mr. President, I move that the town council appoint Frank E. Smith as a second alternate to the zoning board with a term expiring in May of 2024.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to public hearings. Item A, this is to schedule a public hearing on December 5th, 2023, to consider and act upon amendments to the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 118, entitled Alcoholic Beverages.
So moved.
Seconded.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item B, schedule a public hearing on December 5th, 2023, to consider and act upon amendments to the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 122, entitled Amusements Coin Operated.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item C, schedule a public hearing on December 5th, 2023, to consider and act upon amendments to the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 268, entitled Peddling and Soliciting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to licenses. Item A, consider, discuss, and act upon approving a new victualling license for the Boardroom LLC DBA The Boardroom, 95 Douglas Pike, with the hours of operation to be Monday through Sunday from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. as applied, subject to compliance with all state regulations, local ordinances, and final approval from the Rhode Island Department of Health.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item B, consider, discuss, and act upon approving a new victualling-only license for JGKG Enterprise LLC DBA The Fresh Monkey, 9 Cedar Swamp Road, Suite 5, as applied, subject to compliance with all state regulations and local ordinances. Final approval from the Rhode Island Department of Health and a certificate of occupancy from the Building Zoning Officials Office.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item C, consider, discuss, and act upon approving a new massage establishment license for Enliven Massage Therapy, LLC DBA Enliven Massage Therapy, 600 Putnam Pike, as applied, subject to compliance with all state regulations and local ordinances.
So moved.
Seconded.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Last license, item D, consider, discuss, and act upon approving a new massage therapy license for Holly Bynum to conduct therapeutic massage at Enliven Massage Therapy, 600 Putnam Pike, as applied, subject to compliance with all state regulations and local ordinances.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to old business. Item A, consider, discuss, and act upon approving a new B victular liquor license for the Boardroom, LLC DBA The Boardroom, 95 Douglas Pike, with the hours of operation to be Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 1 a.m., as applied, subject to compliance with all state regulations, local ordinances, final approval from the Rhode Island Department of Health, and a diagram plan for parking. Do we have that diagram? I haven't seen it.
Okay, so the diagram that's in your packet
Yeah.
tonight
Is that,
is what I received yesterday, same difference.
okay.
So moved.
You can,
You made it a second, then we open for discussion. So you made the motion, I'll second it. And so-
and we have, no problem, council discussion, a public discussion?
The only thing I'd like to add, Council President, that we received notification from both the police department as well as the fire department reviewing the plan and the property.
So,
I'm sorry. Yep.
So both the police and fire visited the property, reviewed the plan, and both have provided documentation to the council, giving their sign off from both departments.
Thank you. All right, just state your name and address, sir.
my name's Tom Frezza, 20 Twin River Road, and my family owns 3 and 5 Twin River Road. So our biggest concerns with the liquor license over there are, we have a lot of concerns. Are they gonna have, these are the questions we asked last time, they're gonna have entertainment there? Are they gonna be people hanging around in the parking lot after hours? What are the hours? Is there gonna be an outside deck? Are there gonna be lights in the parking lot? Where's the dumpster gonna go? Is the smoke gonna permeate over to the house, which is 100 feet away? Are they gonna use cannabis cigars? All these questions. So that's basically what we'd like to know.
Is the owner of the establishment here?
My name's Dominic Greco. I'm the owner of the Boardroom proposed. I guess I can address each issue as he brought them up.
Sure.
As in a butter.
Yep.
Entertainment license, I think we addressed that in the last meeting. I'm here for a business and liquor license. I think entertainment license would be something totally separate than what I'm here for, so I'm not sure if.
Comes up next, right? Entertainment?
It is separate and they have not applied.
Okay,
No, so no.
that is true.
As far as a deck goes, in the process of doing a renovation, at this point, there is no plans for a deck on the building. But when I go in for the town for a renovation of the property, I'm sure that the abutters will get notified, and at that time, they can probably speak if there's any concerns about building improvements I want to make to the facility. A dumpster, I own the property next door, which is 85 Douglas Pike. We have 2 dumpsters on the property now, so there will be no dumpster on the existing property. Trash will either be disposed of at my facility next door or removed from property and disposed of in a different manner. As far as smoke goes, and I mean, I don't know how to address that. They're going to be smoking inside and probably outside as well, so I don't know if you're not going to smell the smoke, but I'm here for a business license for a cigar lounge, so I'm not sure how to address the smoke issue, but most of the time it'll be inside. It's a very low-key, high-class lounge. I'm not going to have tap beer and pool tables. There's going to be no yelling, screaming. I operate several businesses in the town and in abutting towns, and I think I'm a pretty good landlord, and I hold my buildings up to the highest standard. So as far as the noise goes, I'm available 24/7. So if it becomes an issue, I can address it immediately with any abutters if they have any issues. I'm not sure if there's any other issues that I didn't address. Not that I'm aware of. It's a, excuse me?
Well, you need to, if you're gonna have a discussion, you gotta come up here, I'm sorry, it's just just so, because we're on video and,
That's fine. So what our concern is, if they're gonna have cannabis cigars with the alcohol there, we don't wanna hear people at 2:00 in the morning out in the parking lot, talking. We got tenants there. We don't wanna hear that, and we don't, as far as the dumpster.
I'm sorry, you gotta, I know I'm being a pain, you gotta address us because you're on camera.
As far as we don't want the lights shining into the house because it's shining right into the front yard of the house. You could throw a rock from his door to our door and it's close. And, I don't want my tenant calling us up and, saying it stinks of cigar smoke at, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, whatever. Just don't want to deal with this. So just those issues. As far as the dumpster is concerned, I mean, if that's in the back, that's fine, but the dumpster, no, that's something you and I can talk about after. But that's it.
Thank you.
Mr. Greco, can you confirm the hours?
Yeah, the hours are not 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. Right now, we're contemplating 9 to 11, 9 in the morning to 11 at night. They may go down to 10, depending on the weekdays, but right now I'll do 9 in the morning to 11 at night.
Where's the front, the main entrance look compared to there? Is there a home behind the parking?
His house abuts the
Okay, all right.
left.
So when you
rear
mentioned
corner.
smoking outside, I imagine cigarettes, will that be at the front? Will that be a smoking designation or?
Yeah, there would be patio on the far right side, which would be further away from his
Okay.
tenant's home.
Just wondering, thank you.
I know at Cedar Spill, they have that system where you can't.
Inside
see
the ventilation
inside.
system, it's the inside ventilation system is going to be very high end. I don't like the smell of cigar smoke as it permeates through your clothes. So
Yeah.
as far as the inside ventilation system, it will be one of the best in this area.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is the distance from one house to the other house. His door, and then front door.
You're saying the white and then the tan?
Okay. I've driven by it, I've seen it.
But you don't live there, right? It's just a rental property.
Which one is your house?
The beige one?
The beige one is his.
Oh, that's established. And then yours is the beige house next to it, right?
This is just for the liquor license, it's not for entertainment, all those things we can discuss at a later date.
They're not on for entertainment.
He's
They're
gonna
not
pursue
on
this
for-
business.
They're not on for outdoor, correct?
Correct.
So everything that's, that the license is for is all internal inside the building.
Any more discussion with council or the public?
I'd like to amend the motion to condition the granting of the liquor license and require that there be no loud noise, music, or other nuisance permitted to annoy nearby residents, persons on adjoining properties, street, or sidewalks. And I'm taking that from our new ordinance, but we can condition this liquor license as well by conditioning it as part of the liquor license approval. I'm very concerned about the proximity of a residence to a business like this. So I want to make absolutely sure we have conditions on there so that residents have a recourse if there is a problem that develops.
I'll second that.
So, but to do that, how? The police department, like we, sound decibels like we do now? It's very,
He doesn't have
I mean,
an
it's very
entertainment
different.
license.
I know, but in the future, how are we going to, if that's the council, I assume, that's, what section are you reading from on the ordinance?
This is an ordinance that we are proposing,
do the
but
public
I'm
hearing.
using that language from it. The ordinance is not in effect. I'm using that language to create a condition for our approval of this particular license, given the proximity between the establishment and the residents.
What's the proximity? How many feet?
100, 200 feet, 200 feet?
Smoke goes up,
I mean-
it doesn't go sideways. He already has a recourse if he files a complaint with the police department, they have to come in front of us again.
So we have two motions out there. All right, so we have a second, so vote on the amendment. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna vote nay. No. That passes 3-2. Thank you. Moving on to new business. Consider, discuss, and act upon authorizing a one-year contract extension with Camp Dresser McKee Smith for Sewer Authority Consulting Services.
Hi, good evening, Council. Kevin Clary, Town Engineer, for the record. I come before the Town Council tonight on a sewer authority recommendation to extend the Camp Dresser McKee plan review, construction inspection, and on-call engineering services for the sewer authority for a second one-year term as allowed by the master service agreement. The council took up a matter similar to this at the beginning of the year for one that had expired last October. In a spirit of trying to keep this on time, that this is an appropriate time to revise it for a second year if the council should see fit. No changes to the terms or conditions are proposed with the exception of just the additional year.
Move passage.
Seconded.
Any discussion?
So this is already part of the contract that this would be the second one-year extension, and then there could be one more after this.
Yes, Councilman Ionati. Yes, that's correct. There could be up to 3 one-year terms.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, consider, discuss, and act upon authorizing a short-term contract renewal with Viola Water for operations and maintenance services at the wastewater treatment facility.
Thank you again, Council. This matter is to extend the existing operations and maintenance contract for the wastewater ops an additional short-term renewal through the end of the year. We're still working out the final details of a service agreement, terms and conditions of the scope of services and fee with Veolia. It's been kind of a long iterative process, and I was hoping to have this done a little sooner than this, but it's a delicate matter, and there's a lot involved in the wastewater operations contract. So this seems appropriate. I'm confident that we can get this in before the year end to try to get a recommendation before the sewer authority and then eventually ratify it with the town council in the next 2 months.
Thank you.
Move passage.
Any discussion?
Just really quick, not pertaining specifically to this, but I know we mentioned it last time. I think myself and Councilman Lawton are the only ones currently who toured the wastewater treatment facility. It's actually quite incredible if we could do another or try and schedule something again to get everyone down there to see what they're doing.
That'd be fantastic. They'd be more than happy to show the council the grounds and the facilities down there. It is a nice 1-hour tour, and it's quite a nice place to be. It really is.
It is.
Snacks last time too.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, council.
Item C, consider, discuss, and act upon a recommendation for change order number 1 with Green Acres Landscaping and Construction Company, Inc. in the amount of $116,948.72 for work associated with the Boyle Athletic Field Complex.
Thank you, Council President. This item was before the Royal Athletic Building Committee as well as the school committee last night for the approval of this. This was the second piece of what was approved at a prior meeting for the purchase of the bleachers and press box from the third party. This will be for the actual installation, the cement pad, as well as some additional work of change of site scope and fencing and asphalt work on the project. And we received a credit for the electrical work that we did in-house as well. So that's the net change order for the project.
Thank you.
Was this forgotten in the beginning?
No, what we did was originally we had the pricing that the council approved for the bleachers and press box with the potential of having the installation and the concrete slab being by that contractor. What we did was we, instead of actually giving them that work, we went back to the contractor doing the main work, and they are going to do the installation for cheaper, the pad and everything that we were going to do. So we're having 2 different companies do it, but it's able to have, it's both the contractors that we're working with. But it was planned that we were breaking each of the pieces out to save money.
Okay, thank
So
you.
this was accounted for and everything, and we made the motion on the prior meeting about up to a certain amount with the installation, but we're having the installation, which is going to be cheaper through our current general contractor that's on the project.
Okay, thank you.
Full passage.
Seconded.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item D, consider, discuss, and act upon a recommendation for change order number 2 with Coin Mechanical, Inc. in the amount of $16,800.00 for work associated with the rooftop units replacement project at the Smithfield High School.
Thank you, Council President. This item as well was approved by the school committee last night and the school building committee. This item it's a requirement for the actual warranty on the units for Trane to come out and actually start the units and do the actual setup procedure in order to guarantee them for the 10-year. I forgot what actually how many years it is. I'm sorry, I didn't say it there, but for the warranty on the RTUs.
Again, was this something that was, sprung on us at the last minute, or?
It was, I guess it just came up. I'm not sure when in the process. This was just brought to the committee at the last meeting. That's when I found out about it as well. That would, I guess, when they were going through the specifications in order for the warranty to be carried forward, with Trane, that they would have to be started up by them. So I think it was something that wasn't planned for.
Right.
But there is funds that are available to do it. But unfortunately, it's something else that we need to pay for.
I'm assuming both these committees approved it, like last night, school committee?
Yeah, the school committee approved last night, and the Boyle Athletic Committee approved it on the 2nd.
Okay.
Full passage.
Seconded.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item F, consider, discuss, nope, I'm sorry. Item E, consider, discuss, and act upon authorizing a bid award for a 2-year on-call town-wide electrical service contract.
Thank you, Council President. So every 2 years, we go back out for electrical contract services that we're able to have both the town and the school have the benefit of the locked-in pricing for regular daily operation work, as well as, for emergency work that's needed after hours. And this was reviewed by a committee that included the fire chief, Angela Mancucci, Christopher McWhite, the building official, Gene Allen, Kevin Cleary, and Carlos Santos, who reviewed and are recommending that the award goes to Sullivan and McLaughlin for that 2-year period.
They do all these separately, I would assume. They fill out all these criteria separately.
Yes. They do it together and then they review it. They do it separately, then they do it together to come up with the final decision.
Move passage.
Seconded?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item F, consider, discuss, and act upon a 3-year contract extension with InfoQuick Solutions for the town clerk's land records management system.
You like the system?
Lynn, could you explain this to them, please?
So we went with IQS. We've had them since December of 2018. We love the program. It's actually we're able to build upon it, and they're working on 2 new programs for me. We started working on them, but I certainly will finish them, and that is the municipal court program, and I'm looking at an APRA program, and that is all part of their package.
Excellent.
Move passage.
Seconded.
Discussion?
Really nice agreement details on this. Thank you.
Welcome.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item G, consider, discuss, and act upon adopting a resolution amending the Smithfield personnel policies and procedures.
Thank you, Council President. This item, we've been working with the Personnel Board for some time, that it was noticed that certain aspects of the personnel policy and procedures were not exactly the way that the town was operating. And it had to do all the prior years, as well as that we're finding with a lot of the ordinances that are going on that we're revising now, that there's certain practices that aren't documented in that manner. So working with the Personnel Board, we reviewed this section that pertains to employees that were hired prior to July 1st of 2015. Upon their hiring, they were guaranteed certain benefits that were similar to the bargaining unit that they would be a part of if they weren't management or a non-union employee. So in conjunction with reviewing that, language was drafted with the Personnel Board to mirror anyone that's in the non-union service to match what they'd be comparable to in the union service. So it's really to deal with post-employment benefits for the employees once they reach age 58.
So in essence, this resolution is just putting into words what we're doing. Okay, so moved.
Correct.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item H, consider, discuss, and act upon authorizing an annual salary increase for the probate and municipal court judges for the period from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024.
Thank you, Council President. Unfortunately, during this last budget process, we were working with the judges about looking at their salaries and comparable salaries in other municipalities. And unfortunately, we got sidetracked towards the end of the budget process and weren't able to address this at that time. But unfortunately, the way that it's set up right now, the salaries have been the same as they've been since 2009. So looking at the increase just due to inflation rates of 42.41% would increase their annual wage to just under $10,000. So then bringing into account all the increased workload, which is really ballooned over the years for both the probate court judge and the municipal court judge. So we're asking for the council to consider for this current fiscal year to increase the probate and municipal court judge salaries to $12,000.
Thank you. It's a little steep. A little steep, really.
Well, when you consider that they haven't had any increase at all since 2009, I mean, where do you have no one with an increase for that long? And just inflation would bring them up to almost $10,000.
I'm just joking.
Oh, okay.
I do have a serious question to that point, though. The municipal salary data that's provided to us is approximately 2 years old. Lots changed in 2 years. We've accounted for that as well in this factor.
So that's why we did go a little bit more to the 12,000, but we are going to evaluate it again with updated numbers for the upcoming budget year. At least this gives us a starting point to get in a reasonable pay area. No matter what, Judge, it's definitely much lower than you deserve. So we will evaluate that again when the budget time comes and see where the numbers are at.
Yeah, and perhaps we should definitely evaluate it every year. And maybe we should look at the judge's actual caseloads and see if they're increasing and how much they are increasing in not only numbers, but also complexity.
Move passage.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Consider, discuss, and act upon approving the town council meeting schedule for the remainder of the year and calendar year 2024.
Thank you, Council President. So before you tonight is a new schedule for the 2024 calendar year. We were looking at some slight revisions to it being the different weeks involving January. So instead of January 2nd, to look at having the first meeting of the month on the 9th and the second one on the 23rd. Figuring that with the timing with the holiday and so forth, to try to push it back a week for multiple reasons between the processing and getting the packet together, as well as just everybody's availability on the 2nd if someone was enjoying the holiday. But on the other token, too, the other piece of looking at with the current year, if anyone has any opinions about the second meeting in December for consideration, and it's not something we have to decide tonight, but if it's something that the council wants to see about either changing or canceling that second meeting in December. So it's just, that's more to think about. Or I was just looking for really the council's decision on the upcoming calendar for 24.
36 is my birthday, so I'm going to be.
All right.
Can I recommend to the group possibly, especially with Bolton, canceling that meeting in December, that we might wait a little bit, just because with these change orders coming in with the oil complex, I just would hate to stall them.
Correct. And then that's kind of what my hesitation is, that was kind of put together and added to the agenda and without my focus. So my focus right now is really for the 24 calendar, to get that all set, and then we can consider when we see how the meetings go too, because also where the license is kicked back, where as long as they fulfill their obligations, we're getting their licensing again. Sometimes they do kick to that next meeting, so I don't want to not have a meeting where we can knock those out. We could potentially just have a short meeting, but I just bring that up because that was brought to my attention by someone.
Yeah, last year we had to have the second meeting in December. So perhaps we should wait to decide that until the first meeting in December.
Move passage.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item J, consider, discuss, and act upon approving tax abatements in the amount of $2,184.
Move passage.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to public comment. If anyone from the public would like to get up and speak, they can.
Motion to adjourn.